Motherfucking box modders! Welcome to Mike Reads Your Butthurt 6, the Undiscovered Cunt. Just like I said before in the previous video with Mike Reads Your Butthurt 5, this one is probably going to be one of the best ones. Just like Star Trek 5 was one of the worst ones and Mike Reads Your Butthurt 5 might have been one of the worst ones. This is going to be one of the best ones, as Star Trek 6 was. So, this was kind of handed to me on a silver platter. I didn't even have to work at pissing this guy off. Not to say I work at it for everyone, or often, but there are times when those buttons get pushed for a good reason. And I don't feel bad about it. Anyway, let's move on. Today, this guy, we're going to call him Frank Dickman. Frank Dickman is going to have some kind of accent. I can't tell if it's maybe an Eastern European kind of thing or a French kind of thing. I don't know what it's going to be. I was playing around with it earlier, and the accent, not my penis, and I don't know. It just kind of worked for him. Dude, why the hell did you ban me? I was trying to do what you wanted. Thumbs up, which was actually a mistake, but whatever. If you aren't going to bother to read, or act as if you aren't going to read, I don't need you in the group. And this comes from a post that he made, and that was about, he posted a link to his product. His product being a printed circuit board of some kind, which was a fairly clever, unique idea. And that he had been showing in the group for a while, and everyone, including myself, was fairly interested in it. At least it was something new. It wasn't completely run-of-the-mill. And it was something it didn't seem like anyone else had done. So I was receptive to it. I think we all were. I think his biggest issue, though, in the group was that he was not very receptive himself to questions and criticism about it in the way that we do it. And that becomes an issue in box modders. If you can't roll with the punches, so to speak, then you're going to have you can't have a limited tenure. So I posted this link and I said something smart-ass to the effect of, oh, he'll post a link in the group, but he won't post a link in the fucking handy links document. So he said, do you want me to delete the post? And before I could reply, he had deleted the post. And so I had to make a post and tag him in it and say, hey, dude, I didn't want you to delete the fucking post. I just wanted you to utilize our resources properly. And then it became kind of a discussion about where does one better understand how to utilize the resources. And I linked him a couple of things, and he said, and you'll see it in a minute, but he basically said, he insinuated that he wasn't going to read it, and in a joking way, and which put me in a position to kick him out, and I'll show you that. So I was joking. Jeez, think about how that looks to the group. I posted links on your thing, just like you asked, and he did. He posted a link in the handy links document while he was telling me that he didn't want to fucking read it. So, when you act like reading isn't your thing, and you're just going to operate from a place of ignorance, you put me in a position to remove you from the group. And that's absolutely true. Guys, you have to fucking put the effort forward to do the research in our group. I'm not going to be the one to have to walk you through everything piece by piece and tell you that, oh, no, you have to do it this way, not this way. I don't fucking play that game. I put all the files out there in really obvious places for you guys to read. Read them or don't, but don't fucking bitch to me when you don't understand them. So, anyway. Come on, that's being unreasonable and arbitrary. I post stuff to the group all the time, and I try to play by the rules. Oh, well, I'm sorry. If you want me to post a graphing apology, I will. I was trying to play by the rules. So, I don't want a groveling apology from anyone ever. I don't want groveling. I don't want sucking up. I don't really want any of that shit. I just want acknowledgement and understanding. Just, if I tell you something, acknowledge it. If you say acknowledge, if you encourage, or rather indicate that you've acknowledged it and you've understood it, even better. Bonus for me. But fuck, don't grovel. That's don't do it. Anyway, not really. I wanted you to understand the purpose of the group. Come back when you're ready to give that a shot. Okay, right here. Come back when you're ready to give that a shot. So, what I'm saying here is, when you are ready to give understanding the purpose of the group a shot, you can come back to the group. This was my offer for him to return, and the conditions under which he had to return. Okay? That's it right there. And I'm pointing this out because it's going to become important very soon. Man, are you power mad? Your group is worse than the ECF. You're part of the ECF admin? That would make some sense, at least. If you guys don't know what ECF is, it is the Electronic Cigarette Forum. And I actually did get my start there as far as talking to people online about vaping stuff. I posted all my really early, some of my really early mods there. But I was in there for a while before I really got into Facebook groups. I think I posted all my puck stuff there. And I was fairly active there until I started Box Modders. But I wasn't a regular, I wasn't well known, it wasn't like I was a celebrity or a personality there. Whatever ascension you can rise to in a forum. I just wasn't that. Or whatever kind of status I have now in the vaping or the modding community, I certainly didn't have it then. So, and I wasn't an admin. So, all I wanted you to do was read some documents to better help you understand the purpose of the group. And I'm not an ECF admin. Are you familiar with them? They behave pretty much exactly the same way you are now. If you wanted me to read some specific documents, the reasonable thing to do would be to tell me rather than ban me without warning. So, I show him a screenshot of where I did the reasonable thing. I showed him the links he needed to read, and I waited until I got an acknowledgement from him that he was either going to read them or not read them. So, I kicked him out. I didn't ban him. We're going to get to that in a minute. I didn't ban him, but I kicked him out just like my rules indicate that I would, and we'll get to that too. So I put a little ... after that too. Here's how the ECF works. He's still on ECF, guys. I have moved on. He's still there. And that's pretty much how the rest of this conversation is going to go. Me moving on and him dwelling on stupid shit. Here's how the ECF works. You have to rigidly adhere to all of their unwritten rules or you'll be banned. They don't even know what their rules are. They're different from admin to admin. Now, look, I don't know how ECF plays that game. I haven't seen anyone unfairly removed before from ECF. Honestly, I got the impression that a lot of these forums are fairly hands-off, with the exception of pretty specific case-by-case things. Maybe not. Maybe I haven't paid enough attention to ECF, but if I get the feeling that his Butthurt was probably misplaced, because just judging by his reaction to this, I offered him a way back in. I really offered him a very simple condition too, which is, are you ready to try to understand the group now? Cool, you can come back. That's it. And he ignored that in lieu of him still bitching about fucking ECF. Goddamn, guys. And ECF too. You can make another ECF account pretty easily. if they IP block you, fucking use a proxy. I don't know. But if you want to be on ECF that bad, probably don't piss off the admins. And every admin's different everywhere. No two bosses are going to enforce the rules exactly the same way in life either. So if you think it's weird that two admins act differently, then it just gives me the impression you've never had a job where supervision was important. So I don't know what else to take from that. And that's basically why I said that's super. That's exactly what I thought. That is super. That's all I got. It's a real shame because I like Box Matters a lot and I enjoy contributing to it. What is with you Brits anyway? This is going to become a pattern. He doesn't really get... he doesn't get maybe the fact that people are just the way they are. He really wants me to be... He wants me to be a Brit. He wants me to be an ECF admin. You notice he wants to block me into these categories that have upset him before. He can't just accept that some people are going to piss you off and some people aren't. And that's fucking life. And if you haven't lived life long enough to realize that it's not about astrology or geographic location or gender or anything, some people are cool with you and some people aren't cool with you. That's all there is to it. It doesn't make them bad people because they fucking can't get along with you or you can't get along with them to save your life. It just means that you guys can't get along. That's it. So, I'm not British, by the way, in case you couldn't fucking tell by the accent. And it's on my Facebook profile. One of the very few things that I leave completely public on my Facebook profile is my hometown. And that's not a lie. In case you were wondering, it's one fucking... I'm just letting you know right now, it's a truthful thing that's completely public on my Facebook profile. Is my hometown. Everything else you can fucking guess about. So I'm not British. Okay, I thought you were! You act like you are! I don't know what that means. Yeah, I act like I am. So, once again, that's a trigger for him. Just like ECF is a trigger for him. Something happened to him. And it's triggering his... I don't want to call it PTSD because it truly isn't, but that's his version of PTSD. Awesome, awesome. How long is this arbitrary ban going to last? So, I already explained to him that it wasn't based on time. You saw that. You saw me say what the condition was for him to come back. And so I finally mentioned that, because he mentions the word ban like 4 times, and they said, you're not banned. Oops. There we go. We're unjoined. It is the same thing. It is not the same thing. And I really don't like being a pedant about this stuff. I don't like being a grammar Nazi when it comes to my group and when it comes to having arguments, because I think being pedantic about someone's grammar when you're trying to argue with them is, well, I know it's an ad hominem. It's absolutely an ad hominem attack, which is a logical fallacy when you're trying to have a debate. And it just doesn't help. Like, address the issues. Chances are, if the person's grammar sucks, then you could probably nail them to the wall in something legitimate instead of fucking with their grammar. So, just do that instead. Anyway, I finally mentioned that, no, it's not a ban, it's a kick, and it's a different thing. It is. Truly a different thing. Because I have a cool mod, and I was going to post pictures of it, and now I can't. IDGAF, dude. I really don't give a fuck about your cool mod. Sure it is, I'm effectively banned. Which is him catching up to the it's not the same thing. Now how so? How is it the same thing? I can't see in my post anything. That is a ban, isn't it? Always. Anyways, please let me know when I will be able to rejoin so I can know when to come back. To be banned from a group means you can no longer request to join the group. That's it. You can't see the fucking link. You can't see the group. It's like the group doesn't exist. Like it was never there. Well, banning and joined, whatever you want to call it, the effect is the same. Let me know how long, and I will go away and come back then. Again, not a fucking timeline. Already gave you the conditions. Gave you the task, the conditions, and the standard. And nothing. Just fucking nothing. So, look, you're being a little jerk, but I'm trying to be polite. The least you can do is let me know how long you want to punish me. Again, not a time-based thing. This is when I get into the philosophy of the group a little bit, and this is when it goes really well. There's a difference between operating as an individual in a crowd of individuals and operating as a member of a collective group. Once you understand that difference, I think you'll be able to see how much of a jerk I'm not being in this situation. So, to clarify, Frank Dickman here is kind of one of those guys who posts his stuff blindly. He already said he doesn't really know what the rules are in the group. So far he's been operating on his own ignorance, essentially. He's been operating from a place of ignorance. He's just, I guess, hoped or didn't care. He's either hoped that his posts were in line or didn't care if his posts were in line. But he certainly hasn't gone to any trouble of reading the rules document and understanding how it works and how any of the group works. He's just happened to have made it work so far. And statistically, that's fine. There are plenty of people who just naturally are in line with the rules in the group. But the problem with that is, when you do that and you operate from a place of ignorance, the moment you do make a mistake, chances are, and we're talking like a 90% chance here, that you're going to be upset when you find out that you didn't follow the rules, and that you're going to be punished for it, or the corrective action is going to be taken, just like you were any other fucking idiot in the group, because you thought you had it all figured out. You never bothered to look. You just assumed, because you had never been chastised for anything you posted before, that everything you post was perfectly fine. It's an assumption you made, not something you could put on me. That's the bottom line. Honestly, I have no idea what you just said means. Is this some sort of weird Marxist philosophy? I did not join Box Modders to participate in a cult. Sorry, I joined to share things I build and see what others are doing. So, Marxism isn't a cult. I don't know if you know this or not. It really isn't. And I can post up links to the definition of a cult and the definition of Marxism, and you can read it all for yourself. But in and of itself, Marxism isn't a cult. It's just it's not even relevant here. That's what kills me, is that someone would actually think that philosophically justifying group work as superior to individuals in the same place just doing their own thing and hoping it works out. The fact that I tout group work over that is not weird and not a cult. And the fact that it upsets Frank Dickman is even better to me, because it tells me this guy has no concept of adult learning or basic psychology or really human interaction. If you don't realize that people work better as a group with a common goal, the answer there is you've never done anything with anyone, it would seem like, or you misunderstood the nature of what you've ever done when you've collaborated with anybody. And you'll see how this is important to this fucking knucklehead later. But it's not a cult, and I don't really care if someone calls it a cult, because it's so far off the goddamn reservation that I can't even begin to justify it. It's not worth justification. It's only worth commentary. It's not worth a response. It's just worth commentary. So I really hope you get the chance to be a part of a team with a common goal someday. Maybe I'll give you some perspective. And honestly, like I just said, I don't think this guy ever had any kind of goal with a common perspective. But he sets me straight. I've not read most of your documents because I don't need to know how to wire up a MOSFET. Which I guess the assumption there is most of my documents are about wiring up a MOSFET. I'm an engineer and I already have that knowledge. By the way, being an engineer does not assume you to have any knowledge about electrical or electronics. There are so many disciplines of engineer out there that have no bearing on electricity whatsoever that it doesn't matter how smart you are, okay? You can be really smart. You can be an intelligent person, or you can be really smart in general. And you can just not have knowledge about something. It doesn't make you stupid, but it does make you, by definition, ignorant. It does make you ignorant of something. So, don't ever tell me or anyone else that you're an engineer and expect that to carry any weight with anyone, okay? If that works on some people, then they don't understand what engineers are. And I'm not saying engineers aren't great. I'm saying it doesn't assume anything except that you are trained in a specific discipline. And if you were on... Oh, let me finish this. I've been a part of many standards groups. Have you heard of 802.15.4? I was a part of that group. Actually, I hadn't. And I had to look it up. I know the 802 generally... we're talking about internet transmission stuff. So 802.15, this is from Wikipedia, citation needed. 802 IEEE 802.15.4 is a standard which specifies the physical layer and media access control for low-rate wireless personal area networks. So we're talking about a wireless transmission committee. And that's fine. It's cool. I think it's great that this guy has been on an IEEE committee, because or group or whatever they call it. I think it's fantastic, but that doesn't mean he knows how to wire up fucking anything, let alone a goddamn MOSFET. But the point here is he expressed that he has not read most of my documents, which I already knew by the way he acted. But he seemed to not think he needed to. And guys, no matter what your background is, no matter how cool you think you are, just fucking read the documents. Like, I didn't write them because I thought I was better than someone. I wrote them because I wanted you guys to fucking read them. So I said, awesome, maybe you gleaned something from that which you can apply to participating in something as simple as a Facebook group. Honestly, I'm sick and tired of stroking your inflated ego. Then don't. I never asked you to, nor insinuated that you had to. Guys, I don't want your compliments. I don't want your anything that involves personally congratulating me. Like, I know what a great job I did creating the group. And I didn't even fucking mean to. The group happened. And it is the way it is because of over 17,000 contributors. It isn't just because I made the files, and I didn't just make the files in a vacuum either. I made the files based on the contributions of hundreds of people. I'm just, yes, a lot of that information is stuff that I've collected and translated and added in there. But I'm the curator of that. I'm not the creator of all of that. I'm not the originator of a lot of these concepts. And we'll talk about that later in this fucking conversation. I am also tired of being polite to a psychopath. So I'm a psychopath. Remember that. Which you obviously are. Great. Anything, because I don't fucking care. Like, people call me a psychopath. I don't fucking care. Anything else I can help you with? No. No! Have a nice day. Hope this made you happy. Not really. I'm fairly dispassionate about managing the group. Turning this into a YouTube video later will be fun, though. And that's the thing, like, these conversations, it doesn't make me happy that people leave the group and get upset about it. But I certainly take advantage of the situation to be pleased with what's going to come after that. I don't pretend that I'm not happy about turning it into a fucking Mike Reads Your Butthurt. And I would never pretend like I'm not. But the fact that people come and go in the group is what it is. And I don't necessarily like that term, but it's not beyond its own very blatant face value. People come and go, and that's a very natural fact of life. And I don't make a big deal about it. I don't need 17,000 members. I don't need 17 members in the group, honestly. If people want to be there, they want to be there. If they don't, fucking I don't care. I honestly don't. I think you're a manipulative psychopath. So not only am I a psychopath, but I'm a manipulative psychopath. That's what I think about that. Trying to make money from other people's designs. That bullshit about starting a forum and ending the group. You like to manipulate and use people, huh? I was warned about you from several people when I joined the group. Now I understand what they are talking about. So, I'll just go for it. How can I possibly make money from the designs of others? The forum is still online, by the way. Oshpark? I know, nobody uses it. He's referring to the group. I mean, the forum, not Oshpark. 1, Oshpark doesn't pay anything to the people that upload things. 2, I have nothing uploaded on Oshpark. Again, this guy doesn't really know anything about me. Everything that he thinks he knows is based on fucking fuck knows what assumption he's made about me. And that's it. That's all that he has gathered is whatever assumptions he made about me, and he ran with it. And I've never made any money. The only money that I've made is from the GoFundMe to buy the shit to make the DNA and SX video. And I asked for, and you can still see it on my GoFundMe page, I asked for $250, and I got a little bit more than that. And I didn't reject it, and I used it all towards shit to make that video. But if you accuse me of making money off other people's designs, you don't understand what my purpose is at all. My purpose in this is not to make money. I have a job, and it pays well. I live well under my means to the point where I can afford this fucking hobby. You know? This is not a cheap hobby. Also, other hobbies like sometimes I buy guns, sometimes I buy classic fucking calculators because I'm a giant nerd. So I have enough money to blow on shit like that. I don't need to fucking rip people off on Oshpark. I don't even know what on Oshpark he thinks I ever fucking had. Anyway, as I recall, you announced to the world, the world, you mean my Facebook group, that you were going to discontinue box modders. What happened with that? I guess you lied about it. I did lie about it, and I made a video later stating as such. One of the members thought it would be funny, so I went with it. And one of the members, I won't say who it was, but they said, hey, it would be funny if you said you were going to close the group. And I was like, honestly, I was hesitant at first because that's kind of a big thing to run a game on. But I went with it. I gave it a shot, and it was hilarious, some of the reactions. And there was a lot of feels. There was a lot of feels and a lot of people who that realized they didn't appreciate the group enough, and that was good. It became a big thing. And so the thing was, I said the group was going to end, and I said you guys should get on the forum. Because the forum was a creation based on user input. Users, hey, why don't we have a forum? It would be so much better. Okay, and one guy started working on it, then another guy took over and poured hours and hours and hours of completely unpaid time into this fucking forum, and people don't use it. So, like, Frank Dickman's comment here about no one's on the forum, well, he's kind of right, and it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit, because the users wanted it. If the users aren't going to fucking use it, that's on them. That's them being dicks, not me. Not a fucking failing of mine. So, yeah. Like I said, psychopath. But that is the reason? Not because you were trying to get all the members to jump on your forum? Seems very manipulative to me. The forum promotion was an added element after the idea was pitched to me. I'm still wondering how I'm making money off designs of others. Yeah, the forum thing, if... I don't see... First of all, I don't see why it's so bad that I would threaten to close the group to get people to jump onto the forum. I don't have any ad revenue on that forum, by the way. If there are ads on that forum, I am not making money off of them, I assure you. I don't own that domain. I don't own anything on that fucking domain. Like, honestly, if someone hacked it and turned it into a porn site, it wouldn't fucking matter to me anyway. I would just have to take the link off of the stuff that I probably wouldn't take the link off of stuff because I like porn just as much as anyone. But it really wouldn't affect me. So, why should people have to read your silly files anyway? Are you promoting some sort of groupthink? Do you honestly think every member on there has read every file? That's just stupid. No, no one has to read the files in as much as no one has to participate in the group. It doesn't matter to me personally. Guys, if you don't read my files, I'm not going to be heartbroken. I'm not going to be insulted. I don't really fucking care. But if you ask a question in the group that's answered in the files, I'm going to tell you it's in the fucking files, or I'm going to delete you, or I'm going to fucking kick you out. Because I don't need you to read everything, but at the same time, I don't need you to be a part of my group either. It's on you. When you have a group that is a service that people, whether people need it or not, the point is, I'm going to make sure that the quality of information in that group, in that service portal, is as good as possible. And that means not a bunch of fucking repetition, not a bunch of waste. I'm going to do quality control on it. And that's probably going to be beyond the level of quality control some of you are used to seeing. And especially in Facebook groups. So, obviously it does, or you wouldn't arbitrarily ban people. And then I went back to the groupthink thing, because to me, first off, groupthink isn't really what you keep using that word, but it doesn't mean I don't think it means what you think it means. It isn't talking about literally getting people to think as a group. Groupthink is something different. The phenomenon of it sort of refers to how common sense is overridden by a group of people working together on something so hard that no one person goes in and says, hey, this is fucked up. You need to fix this. And if that's happening in my group, that sucks, but it's not something that I encourage. I encourage people every day. Tell me if I'm fucked up. Tell me if I'm wrong. I have a place for that. People don't use it. People decide it is a bitch anyway, and that's on them. And that's the problem, is the people who have the most complaints about my group seem to be the people who have the least knowledge about my group. And that, to me, says all I need to know. So the groupthink angle is as justifiable to my group as it is to the adoption of standards like the one you set in on. So there's that. And absolutely, if you sit on an IEEE standard and you understand that these standards are meant as a consensus for an entire industry to follow, and then you accuse me of trying to override people's common sense in a fucking Facebook group with a bunch of Word documents and shit, I got nothing for you, because you've already set yourself up for complete failure there. How long after I posted my post did you ban me? It can be measured in seconds. Eons can be measured in seconds. That is a man who loves his control. It's compulsive about it even. If you say so, because at this point I'm just kind of letting him have at it. Let him, feel out his feels. I don't have to say so. The evidence is indisputable. Obviously, it matters to you a very great deal. Way more than it would a normal, healthy person. Like I said, it reminds me of the ECF. They're about on the same level. Sure, whatever helps you avoid taking responsibility for anything is cool with me, man. I'm glad we're having this conversation because it angered me that you did what you did. Now I've calmed down and I feel sorry for you. Right. You fabricated an acceptable reason why I kicked you out that does not place any responsibility on you. Anyone would be relieved by that. And this happens over and over again as well. Like don't take any of the responsibility that maybe you did something that was outside the scope or realm of or acceptability of the group. Just put it on me as a manipulative, psychopathic, fucking whatever. You'll see. The list grows of things that he calls me later. You're a pitiful person. It's just too bad that people have business that use your Facebook page. Businesses that use a Facebook page. It gives you too much power, which you wield like a chimpanzee with a machine gun. Honestly, if anyone's hinging their business on my fucking Facebook group, and I know some people promote in there, but guys, don't use my fucking group as your livelihood. Please. You need to be independent. You need to be self-sufficient. Because Facebook is a motherfucker. And you don't need to choose your life. So anyway, whatever. But notice all these insults or insinuations that carry a lot of weight. Psychopath, manipulative, loves his control, compulsive, all these things. And what have I called him so far? You see where I'm going with this? These folks lash out and lash out and lash out, and I basically just throw out some commentary on it. And the only thing I've said so far is that he's fabricated something. Whether he's fabricated it or not, I've asserted that he has. That's basically the worst I've done to him. So, get it all out of your system, buddy. You still haven't told me what unwritten rule I broke. I made a joke about reading files. Was that it? Pray tell. Oh, I just screenshotted him something from the group description, which he could still read to this day because he's not fucking banned. And the part that you should see, well, really this whole thing, you may get removed or banned for anything which expresses a selfish interest over that of the group. It's your right to be that way. Being a member of the group is not a right, or being a member here is not a right. This is a community where we must work together with a common vision to succeed. This is an awesome group because of us as a whole. Wow! That is really arbitrary! And how did I break this vague and unspecific rule? You didn't like a post I shared, which I removed. How come Russell gets to post links to ModCrate products all the time, by the way? So I dealt with his first thing first by saying, how did I break this vague and unspecific rule? I prefer to play it safe. Too much reading hurts my glass balls. You can't see the whole thing there, but that's what it says. Too much reading hurts my glass balls. Or something like that. So, if you're not going to read the fucking documents for the group vision and the rules and all that shit, then I don't need you in my group. That's it. If you're not going to read the thing that you were supposed to read before you join the fucking group, then I don't have time for you. The group doesn't need you. I assure you of that. The group will be perfectly fine without you. And I'll address the thing about Russ in a second. What he does constantly is exactly what I did, but whatever. What Russell did. Well, I'll talk about it in a minute. He put himself in the handy links long ago when the thing first started. So when he first started, so he created a mod parts page called ModCrate, and he's done a lot of good work for the community, and he's very active. And Russell and I have not seen eye to eye on everything. Just to put it out there, if you think I have any special fucking feelings for Russell, you're goddamn wrong. He and I have had arguments before, but we got over it and we moved on because that's what adults do. He hasn't been kicked out of my group. He fucked something up fairly badly for a while, and I still didn't kick him out because he seemed to understand. He admitted it. He fucked something up. He doesn't know how he fucked it up. I don't know how he fucked it up. So we were on the same page there, and we move forward. It was an honest mistake, and we moved forward. He admitted it. It was no big deal, and that's the thing. Just be honest with yourself. You don't even have to necessarily be honest with me, but just tell yourself, okay, look, I did something wrong. I fucked up. Got it. I'm moving on. That's it. Acknowledgement. That's all you need to do. As soon as you told me, I did exactly that. I didn't know about the handlings. When I asked you to review the group vision and rules list, you appeared to refuse. You should have known about the handy links, which is part of the issue. If you're in my fucking group for more than, 10 minutes and you don't know about the handy links file, you're fucked up. You fucking failed. Absolutely, 100% absolutely you have fucking failed. Because that is one of the essential parts of my group is that links list. And if you don't fucking need it, cool, don't use it. But be aware of it. Be fucking aware of it. Oh, where did I? Okay. Oh, everyone is expected to know. That actually works with the accent. Everyone is expected to know all your rules. I get it. Yes, absolutely. I'm not going to pretend that that's not the case. Yeah, if you're in my fucking group, you need to be aware of all the rules. And if you fuck something up, that doesn't mean you're automatically kicked out. Not even remotely. But there's still a good chance that your fuck up is going to get you. It's going to get you in trouble. It might not get you removed, but it's at least going to get a snarky comment from an admin. And I've said this before in another Mike Reads Your Butthurt, but a lot of the reason that you fuckers get banned or not banned, but kicked so easily is sometimes I need to PM you guys about stuff. I need your attention one-on-one. And kicking you is one of the best ways, given my experience, is one of the best ways to get your attention. Because I could PM you about something casually, just, hey, let me PM you real quick, and you'll never fucking answer it. But I kick you out of my group, you'll find a fucking way to contact me. You'll be sending smoke signals and fucking Pony Express and goddamn fucking knows what. You'll find a way to contact me. Oh, yes, you will. So that's my thing, is I apply the appropriate level and amount of motivation to get you to do what I need you to do so we can have a conversation about this. And so don't take it personally when I fucking kick you out. Because a lot of the time, it's almost never personal if I fucking kick you out. Unless I don't even know what you'd have to do to make it personal. I'm going to kick your ass out of my group. But just don't fucking do it, guys. Don't take it personally. It wastes my time, and you end up on fucking YouTube. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to end up on Mike Reads Your Butthurt. I don't know. Maybe that's your thing. That's cool. That's a thing you can do in life. End up on Mike Reads Your Butthurt. Anyway, where was I? So, I make a joke on a forum where people make jokes all the time and they get banned for it. You yourself are one of the worst offenders for taking a thread off topic, talking about dicks and such. It's very inconsiderate and rude, but people put up with it. And see you getting banned. You should really ban yourself. Yeah, no. I'm not going to ban myself from my group. That's kind of silly, don't you think? Anyway, yeah. So, people don't have to put up with anything I fucking do, by the way. Like, not a single thing. If you do, cool. If you don't, cool. Doesn't matter. Don't give a shit. Most people I really don't ban. And especially now that the vetting process is in place, I don't fucking ban anybody. There's no reason to, because the people I kick out are usually too fucking stupid to figure out how to get back into the group. And if they do try to get back into the group, then that puts them in a position to where we have to have a discussion in some form or another before they're getting back into the group. Joke making isn't the issue here. How can they make a decision when you hold the pen hammer and wield it like a chimpanzee with a machine gun? Again, with the chimpanzee and the machine gun. I guess the idea here is that he honestly thinks like people are afraid. And I know people are scared. Some people are scared to participate in the group. I don't fucking know why. I think they really just have an issue with I don't think they have an issue with risk. You have to take at least a little bit of risk in life to get any kind of reward out of life. And why not sandbox that in the form of a goddamn Facebook group? Be brave for once in your life and post something in a group and see how it turns out. My God, how do you fucking make it through the day if you're afraid to post something in a Facebook group? Anyway, so your attitude was one of rejection regarding reading the links I provided. That signaled to me that you had no interest in being a part of the group. That's what I did. That's what I did. Hence the use of the word glass balls. Have I made my purpose in not banning you clear enough? Because he keeps on using the word ban, I keep on not using the word ban. Or using the word not ban. It was a self-deprecating joke. Do you understand what that is? Yes, and had you not had such a bad attitude about it after the fact, you'd be back in the group by now. Or you enjoyed me and you yourself stated that there were 150 or whatever people waiting to join, so that was an effective ban. Whatever you say. Look, and this is something I didn't want to get into with him but at the time, but does he think that I join people in sequence? I mean, it's not a customer service window. It's a goddamn Facebook group. So if the number of people waiting to join doesn't indicate how long it's going to take you to get accepted. The amount of time it takes you to get accepted to my group is based solely upon two things. I guess that wouldn't be solely. It's based upon two things. One, how long it takes you to follow the instructions, and the vetting instructions, and how long it takes us to see that you've done so and accept you to the group. That's it. All this shit was unnecessary. That's why I was going to blow him off at that point. No, I wouldn't. You're lying about that. You stated above that you would not reinstate me. So don't wave some silly carrot in front of my face. This will try to make me feel bad. Again, psychopathic behavior. So I decided to let him review the situation. I told him, come back when you're ready to give that a shot. When you're ready to give understanding the purpose of the group a shot. It asked for how long, and you couldn't tell me. Let's face it, you're obviously a very petty person. Petty, add that to the collection. And there's the internet. It's like a paradise for people like you. You had burned that bridge. The offer that I made was pretty much he rejected almost immediately after with his fucking attitude. I'm showing you that I explained the terms of your return. You could have just hit the join button and followed the vetting instructions. See, very petty, but I expected that, so it's okay. Sweet. Anything else? You would never allow a person on your group that didn't suck your dick. Again, I get it. It's the internet. It's a paradise for people like you. Just remember, karma's a bitch. Just remember, that kind of shit won't work in the real world. A friendly reminder. So this is kind of a collection of things that comes up from time to time that I kind of enjoy. So he's continuing the theme here with, you wouldn't allow anyone in your group that doesn't suck my dick. I wish I could name names so you could go talk to them. But there are people in the group that I still to this day don't fucking agree with how they operate, what they do, but they're innovators, they're contributors. I don't have to like them personally to want them to be a part of the group, to want them to keep contributing that which they do, which enriches our resources. That's the thing. I mean, I've had knockdown dragouts with some of these people, and I still don't really fucking like them. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I like someone. It's not about that. It's about, are you a vital member of the group? As if you toe that line and you have nothing good to contribute to the group, I have no reason for you in the group. And that's what Frank Dickman here is showing. Yes, he has contributed within his own posts. He has shown things that he's done. And in his own selfish way, he's kind of conveyed that to the group. But when you do that, and I ask you something simple like that, and he's like, no, I don't want to fucking read your shit. Or whatever, that's how I took it. Hey, I don't want to read your shit. Okay, cool. I don't want you in my fucking group. See how easy that is? That's super easy, right? So anyway, but it has plenty of people here and there. Oh, and the karma thing. Karma, super. You believe in karma? That's great. To me, karma is as valid as any other supernatural belief. So, not fucking having it. Some folks are capable of keeping it discreet and impersonal. Others are not. And my response to his thing in the real, oh good, because I never lived in the real world. Thanks for the heads up. I wish I could go into detail about my job and explain that depending on the situation, it is very much how I handle my business, and it's not an issue. It's a matter of the situation, though. You have to know your audience. You have to know your situation, and that's absolutely true. So, well, oops, too far. Well, I get angry at people who feel they can treat people badly, especially over the internet. They think they're protected by anonymity. But my name's right on there. It's not really anonymity, is it? Hey, do you think you would be rude to me if we were face to face? I doubt it. I would definitely say exactly what I said to you. I would probably be more rude to you in person, because you would be wasting my time in real life and not just on the internet. But I tell him, hey, you shouldn't get angry at people online. It's not productive. It will potentially affect your health. And yeah, it will. Because, I'm not above it. Not only anyone's above getting pissed off at someone online, but it's you really have to minimize it. True, or tour. Yeah, I just had to throw it out there. Tour! True, it was a fault of mine, but you were very rude. Which I'm not sure how, but whatever. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, I was very rude, and you were very rude and considerate, and I particularly hate bullies. Oh, I'm a bully now too. Let's add that to the list. That's what you are. Yeah, I'm a big bully for not letting you disregard the policies of my group. And people have called me that before, that I'm a bully. You guys, being a bully and not letting you do whatever you want in my group, it's not the same thing. You run around my house and you break my shit. That's me kicking you out. That's not me being a bully. That's me enforcing the standards of the area in which I have completely arbitrary control over. I was bullied as a kid. Not surprising. And I just can't abide them at all now. they get my ire up every single time. I can't stand to see someone bullied either. A bully is anyone who wields arbitrary power over another person. That's not true, not even remotely, and I'm just going to refute that in a second. With the goal of intimidating them to getting them to do what they want. Let's see. Let's see if we have any definitions here, because I'd love to see. Let's see. Bullying is the use of force, threat, or coercion to abuse, intimidate, or aggressively dominate others. So, this is Wikipedia again. Citation needed. So let's see. We're using force, threat, or coercion, and the goal is abuse, intimidation, or domination. So the goal here is not. So that's it, and that's if you think my purpose of being an admin and having my own group is to abuse, intimidate, and dominate people. I mean, I guess if you want to think that, that's fine. I really don't care. But what I do, like, I don't take anyone's shit. Like, if I tell you rudely that you've fucked up, that you've made a mistake, and you take that as me being a bully, that's on you, not me. Bottom line. So anyway, does your definition of bully include people who don't let you do whatever you want, whenever and wherever you want? Because basically that's what's happening now. Because I didn't let you have your way. So that makes me a bully. And I say all power is arbitrary, and ultimately that's true. Power is, as far as control over people or whatever, is really just created as a consensus. Or not as a consensus, but it's all created by man and by men, and I use that in the human and plural sense, not as the fucking gender specific sense. So yeah, to say that my power is arbitrary, and in the Facebook group, and to say, I don't know, the President of the United States' power is not arbitrary, is, if you really want to have a philosophical discussion about it, that power is no more or less arbitrary. It's granted by a document, and it can be taken away when it's abused. And if you want to overgeneralize or super philosophize everything, then that's the way you have to go with it. So I don't really care, and I don't really care if my power is arbitrary, because it's a fucking Facebook group. Who gives a shit? No, a reasonable person would say, please don't do that in the future. Reasonable people give others a heads up. Bullies just punish. And this is another fundamental misunderstanding, I think, that kicking you out of the group isn't necessarily a punishment per se. It's an alert. It's an attention getter. I will definitely, or most probably, have your attention by doing that. And so I said I have real world stuff to do, which I did, and I told him to get it all out of his system, and I would read it later. And he says, especially the first time, referring to, number of infractions. Nah, I've wasted too much time on yours, on this as well. Just remember, karma is a bitch. Karma is an unsubstantiated supernatural phenomenon, so I don't fucking care. Also, to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So I came back later and mentioned that I would want to be held accountable for my actions, so I hold others accountable for their actions. The primary fallacy of the golden rule is that not everyone has the same values. And that's an important point, I think, when you're talking with anyone about the golden rule, is you have to understand that the golden rule isn't universally applicable, because people have different ideas of what they want done to them. Sadomasochists probably aren't going to necessarily have the same golden rule as people who don't like don't like to have pain inflicted upon them or don't like to inflict pain upon others. So, anyway, who holds you accountable? No one, it seems. Dude, over 17,000 fucking people hold me accountable. Every goddamn thing I say on the internet gets fucking scrutinized. Every fucking thing. Trust me on this. I get held accountable. Big time. More so than you fucking do, I assure you. Actually, it's good that you banned me. I didn't fucking ban you, you fucking idiot. Because let's face it, it would have happened eventually anyways. Best to get it over with and move on. I don't do very well in dictatorial environment with arbitrary rules. Funny enough, I really thought you were a Brit. You have many of their qualities. I don't even know what that means. I guess he got butthurt by a fucking British person at some point. I don't know. An overinflated sense of importance, narcissism. Okay, so I'm a narcissist now too. Absolutism and a strict adherence to the rules with no room for individuality. Really, very, very British. I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people from the UK, a lot of British people, and I don't really get that sense from them in general. But hey, whatever. I never been there. Never been to the UK. Don't know how it goes there. Like overall, unless I've watched Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and shit like that. So. And Shaun of the Dead. So, that's what I have to go on. I don't fucking know. So I mentioned all rules are arbitrary and as is all power. And that's really a highly philosophical thing because I think for the most part we give things as much power as we allow ourselves to. And that works to some extent. It definitely works online. You could just log off. Anything you give power online is just a matter of you because you could just fucking log off. So, absolutely. But rules are more arbitrary when they're hidden. Yeah, hidden in plain sight. What a dastardly deed. These rules are in the fucking group description and the group banner picture with the cats and the bright colors makes two statements. One statement's about the pinned post. One statement's about the group description. And both of them link the fucking rules. The rules are hidden. Then more power is given to the enforcers because they're less accountable. Sure, some file buried deep in a list of 100 other files. Yeah, I'm such a dick for putting the rules in the group description and the pinned post. In plain sight, in the basement behind a locked door that has a sign on it that says "Beware of the leopard." I don't fucking get it. He didn't see it. I get that he didn't see it, but holy shit, stop being a shithead about it. And the two statements in the group banner mention the two places where the rules are posted. I'm so sneaky. And then the rule you applied to me is so ridiculously vague and open-ended that you can apply it to pretty much anything. It's just another way to expand your power. You see how much you post in other forums, you'd love to expand your influence as much as possible. So first off, when you have a situation where you have to justify, when people request that you justify why you removed them, you ultimately either don't remove them or you create umbrella rules. And what I showed him was very much an umbrella rule. And it wasn't that it was vague, it's that it was widely applicable. And if you don't understand the difference between something that expresses a selfish interest versus an interest of the group, that's fine. But that also signals to me that maybe you're not ready to be in my group. And that's all it is. It's not personal. It's not a punishment. To me, it's something for the good of the group and the good of the person, to separate the two. Now, onto this. So which forums do I post in? Classic narcissism, my friend. DIY box mods, for one. Show me a post I've made there. Or maybe you mean comment, and that's what he meant, is I comment in there quite a bit. I have basically every modding group, every mod-specific group that I know of on Facebook. I have I have my notifications turned on for all posts because I mainly want situational awareness of issues, and I want to be able to help people. And if something new comes up that isn't being shared in Box Modders, I want to be able to make sure it gets shared in Box Modders. You have your own forum. You'll control that completely. Yet you post in there all the time. Whatever. For someone who claims to have been on a standards committee, you aren't much for proper terminology. Potato, potato. Yes, classic. I'm actually glad I didn't grovel to you and get back in your group. As I said, you would have banned me eventually anyways. I don't respect people who grovel anyway, and I really don't. That's not my fucking thing, guys. But you appear to be afraid of other people's opinions and thoughts that you don't agree with. How so? And I don't respect narcissists and bullies. Great, it's a good thing I'm neither. Any design that doesn't fit in your little files, for instance. Really, instructing newbies to use an in-MOSFET as their switch is very, very dangerous and could bit you in the ass. Bite in me in the ass someday. Also, a 5-5 timer that has to use diodes to it for duty cycle adjustment. That's pretty lame. So, I don't know if anyone got the idea that those were my original concepts, but they are not. People have been using MOSFETs for switches for fucking decades. And using a 555 timer as an astable, a duty cycle adjustable astable multivibrator, using diodes for that. First off, the diodes don't do the duty cycle adjustment. It's a combination of, it's actually the resistor with the diodes and the capacitor that make all that happen. And I would love to have asked him, what method would you rather use? But I really didn't want to waste my time on something that I knew would be a dead end. The 555 design that I adapted to use in mods is as simple as it could possibly be. And that was the point. And I guess people don't understand that the things that I share with the group, I try to make them as simple as possible so as many people as possible can make a fucking mod that works. That's the thing. I want people to get into doing their own fucking shit. Make something simple, they can get into it, they can understand what's going on, and they can build upon that. So, why don't you put the correct circuit on there, which is one 555 for the oscillator and one for the one-shot. God damn, dude. That is the way I can't even read it in this fucking accent. That's so fucking stupid. I just... Yeah, sure. I could teach people how to build a whole fucking buck regulator, but you know what? They're not going to want to fucking do it. I made it as simple as I possibly could without cutting too many corners. And that's it. So I said, do you honestly think I take credit for applications that are decades old? But you promote them as if they were. No, I don't promote them as if they're mine. I promote my diagrams as if they are my diagrams. Okay? That's it. And it's very much the same thing with open source. You change something, and I didn't necessarily change anything, but you make it your own, and you publish it as your own, and that's all I did. It was an application that I tested, and it worked, and I showed it as such. I even fucking gave credit for where I got it from. But anyway, and I said that all I did was adapt existing designs for use in mods and did my best to explain to novices how they work. That's some pretty serious narcissism, dude. Is it really? Is it narcissism that I adapted something and explained it to people? What the fuck is wrong with you? Of course you're not the only one out there like that. Have you ever had any dealings with Mamu? She's exactly like you. I laughed so fucking hard when I saw him mention Mamu. Oh my god. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fucking believe it. My dick got hard when I saw this because Mamu is... I guess, obviously, not everyone likes her, but she's so agreeable, and she's one of the fucking OG modders. Like, she's been doing this much, much longer than I have, and has easily put way more work into any of this than I have. I happen to be... the difference between me and her is I have a much more persistent presence on Facebook. And I have taken this very active role as a teacher and mentor and curator of this group, where she has honestly been more busy, like, developing more stuff. Anyway, she's really cool, and any argument, if you lose an argument with her, it's because you tried really hard to have an argument with her to begin with. Like, the point is, you're definitely going to lose any argument you have with her. But you shouldn't even be having an argument with her because whatever she said to you was reasonable and probably correct anyway. Because she doesn't go out of her way to make posts to begin with. And when she does, it's because she's studied her shit. She is very much responsible for a lot of the advancements in modding. And like way more than I fucking have. All I've done is try to help host and promote that information, and with a few things of my own, like the in-channel MOSFET box that I popularized. I didn't fucking invent it. I popularized it in PWM, which I really like. As far as mods go, I kind of innovated a little bit, but I didn't fucking invent anything. But I popularized it. So I took it as a sincere compliment when he compared me to her. Honestly, I really fucking did. So I said, yeah, how so? She's all nice and nice, everybody's friend, and the first time you disagree with her, you are her worst enemy, very mercurial. People like yourself, they love attention, but are fundamentally very insecure. Well, like I said, Mamu she's really nice, really agreeable. But if you disagree with her, chances are you're disagreeing with her because you're a fucking idiot. You have to do your goddamn homework if you're going to try to one-up her, I guess maybe is the word I'm looking for. But if you're gonna win an argument with her, you have to have your fucking shit straight. Because she's got her shit straight before she ever makes a goddamn comment. So, anyway, said, well, as far as I can tell, she deals primarily with established electronic and electrical theory as a result of lots of research. Every time I've seen her take someone to task, it's because of a willful ignorance of information readily available to all. So are we America or are we British? And I said that because when he said mercurial, I thought he said very America, and so that was my bad. So he said, we who? We who? Oh, well, you've been ranting about me and recently included Mamu, so... Not true at all. I know several people who became her sworn enemy because they disagreed with her on a very minor point. Oh yeah? Which point? Now I'm interested. Quote-unquote interested. It's really irrelevant, isn't it? Reasonable people can disagree about without becoming haters. That's a hallmark of an adult. I absolutely fucking agree with you, but you're being a fucking piece of shit hater while I am trying my fucking best to entertain this conversation as far as it'll possibly go without laughing too hard. So I whip out Hitchens' razor on him, which I think was the appropriate thing to do. That which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. If you're going to tell me this many people have had an issue with Mamu, or even one person, and you have no evidence to back it up, then I have no interest in listening to your bullshit. I agree that some people can disagree without becoming haters, and some cannot. Those of the former category generally experience a long membership in box monitors. The latter, well, ... pointing at him. Fucking Frank Dickman. And permabanning someone qualifies as being a hater, doesn't it? Perhaps, but I haven't permabanned anyone in weeks, and I almost never do, thanks to the vetting system. No effing way. A long membership in box monitors only comes with those who follow the rules to the letter. Those rules are very, very vague and open to interpretation. You proved that today, didn't you? Yes and no. Some people are removed and accepted back after a short explanation of what they did. After an appropriate amount of sucking up and groveling, you mean. You, on the other hand, wanted to express your feelings to an extent that convinced me that you weren't suited for box monitors. And no, sucking up and groveling isn't required. No sucking up and groveling is required or welcomed. Recognition of the error is all that is required. You failed to do even that. What are the rules of the state? You have to be suited. Does that mean you have to be the right race, religious beliefs? I'm the raciest, by the way, in case you didn't know. I still do not understand that any error I made other than pissing you off isn't part of the rules, is it? Or is it? Nor have you explained it to me at all. So, like I said, it's not just pissing me off. Though if you piss me off and you have nothing to contribute to the group, there's a good chance you're going to get kicked out. But if you... So like in the case of Frank Dickman here, real douchebag, no one liked him. And I really thought the group would be better off without him. But ultimately, that was a decision for the group. It wasn't a personal thing. My feelings about how the group works and my feelings about me personally are just, they're two different things. If you want to be in someone's group, it doesn't hurt to follow their rules. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's crazy talk, I know. Anyway. I already showed you the rules you broke. I even showed you the terms upon which you could return. You not only refused to accept responsibility for your actions, but refused my offer to return. You quoted two vague rules that didn't apply at all. Your opinion that they do not apply to you is at the very heart of why you have no business in my group. And that's absolutely it. Like, if you don't think my rules apply to you, that's cool. I don't think your desire for membership in my group applies to me. How about that? You like them apples? That's exactly as easy as things work here. So, no, you didn't. I asked how long I had to wait, and you said nothing. Because time was not a consideration, not a condition of your return. You never gave me any conditions of my return, so stop making shit up. And I show him the same exact picture I showed him already, which was the thing where I told him exactly what the conditions were for him to fucking come back. That's the third time you've seen that comment as of now. What the fuck does that even mean? That's nonsense. It's like saying, come back when you understand what you did. That's ridiculous. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. Come back when you understand what the fuck you did. Good call, numbnuts. Are you a woman? That's the thing a woman would say. I'm not a woman. I hope that doesn't disappoint you. That's narcissistic garbage. Cool beans. You have the emotional maturity of one, though. Is that an insinuation that women have less emotional maturity than men? No, it's an insinuation that women tend to think and act irrationally, just like you're doing. There you go, ladies. For the two of you who will ever watch this, that's what he thinks about you. Awesome sauce. Just wanted to make sure I understood. Oops, wrong button. There we go. You really expect another human being to fulfill such a ridiculous request? Absurd! You need to start treating people like adults, not like little toys that can fuck with at your pleasure. Not necessarily. It has no bearing on me whether one does or not. Their membership in my group makes no difference to me, and that's absolutely true. If you cross me, then you're fucking done. And by cross me, I mean disregard or disobey the rules and advice of the group. That's it. That's all there is to it. Karma, as I said, man, is a bitch. So you're admitting to being a psychopath? One, karma. Once again, karma. Unsubstantiated, supernatural phenomenon. No basis in reality. Don't give a shit. If being indifferent to that which has no bearing on my life makes me a psychopath, then I think the issue is with your definition of what a psychopath is, not my status thereof. Because, like, if you want me to feel bad about the people that I kick out of the group, that's not me being a psychopath. I know that much. You're grossly overplaying the term, but hey, have at it. It's not my problem. I'm bored. Bye-bye. And that was it for him. So fuck, guys. This was absolutely outstanding, and this was a great opportunity. And I hope I entertained you guys with Mike Reads Your Butthurt 6. So once again, and as always, haters, you can suck it.